How much does a construction foreman make a year? In this video, I'm going to expound on some questions that we've gotten from previous videos that we've done. So it's all new content. I'm not repeating. I refuse to repeat on this YouTube channel, but I will answer new questions, and I'm about to cover some really cool stuff and how to differentiate between being possibly a low-paid foreman and a high-paid foreman, and I think you're going to love it, so stay with me. Let's go ahead and do this. I got my questions right here and we are ready to go. And if you like this video, please like it and please subscribe to the channel. I love the idea that we're getting cool stuff out to you. Oh, by the way, real quick, we have a couple of resources for you. Number one, we have the book called Elevating Construction Foremen. Elevating Construction Superintendents, Elevating Construction Senior Superintendents, Elevating Construction General Superintendents are all books on how the superintendents can support foremen in the field, and every system that we use, which is in 3 books, one called TAC Planning, Elevating Pre-Construction Planning, and TAC Steering and Control. And we'll soon have a pamphlet out or a small book about the last planner system. All of that is to drive value to the foreman. So we love, love, love foremen. So let's talk about this right now. Okay, so what's the average salary for a construction foreman? So typically what I see, by the time you add up basically what they make on an hourly rate with some overtime, typically where people work 48 hours a week, and you prorate that throughout the rest of the year, typically you're between $70,000 and $120,000. But then you go to California, it goes way higher. Then you go into the mines, it like triples. Like, you know, you can go different places, different industries, different locations, different places around the world and make massive amounts of money. You know, like if you're in a mine or you're on an oil rig, you're going to be making some dough. Like we're not talking 120, we're talking 250, we're talking 300, we're talking 350, right? We're talking massive amounts of money because these are high risk environments. But on average, $70,000 to $120,000 a year. Do foremen get paid by hourly or salary? So most of the time when you have workers or foremen, you're going to be on an hourly basis most of the time. A lot of that's driven by being union. So union is primarily hourly. I actually don't know of a salary situation with unions. And actually, I've seen some superintendents go from foreman to superintendent, and they're still actually being paid hourly. But if you're foreman, typically you're paid hourly. And I do remember one scenario. It was so funny. There was a concrete foreman. He had one of the best crews. They all had radios. They were all in sync. They worked really fast. They were the foundations crew before the vertical crews came, where you had the columns and walls and deck crews. And he liked to work a lot. I don't know if he hated his family or if he was just greedy. I can't remember. But he negotiated such a high hourly rate and worked so much overtime, and he made so much money that he actually refused to go salary. And it really annoyed company leaders because they were rolling out some dough for this guy. So like, yes, it's mostly hourly. Even when you get higher up, and you can actually kind of, when you have that much value, you can kind of state your own deal. So it's a really good deal. So let's keep going. What's included in a foreman's overall total compensation? Well, this might surprise you. It can actually be, with certain companies, as minimal as everything in your base salary is included. I mean, obviously, like workers' comp and other types of insurance, those are included or covered by the company, right? Your medical insurance, your per diem, your package that would include housing and gas for your vehicle and, you know, other types of insurance like dental and vision. Sometimes companies will just loop it into your salary. Now, that's only applicable for companies that have less than 40 to 50 employees. In most places, by the time you get 50 employees, you have to have your company-wide health program, okay? So I've seen it in smaller companies where your salary includes all of it, all the way to the point where a foreman will have their base salary, will have bonuses, health insurance, dental, vision, and then in some cases, even some options for stock. And then in some cases, like I said, maybe even a truck. I remember Hensel Phelps, they gave foreman trucks, gas card, computer, iPad, radio, and then some other, you know, small benefits. So yeah, it's basically company by company, but you're like, Jason, you didn't tell me anything I already know. Yes, I did. If you see a company that's looped it into your wage, you know that's not abnormal. And if you want to include everything in your package, you know that you can ask for it. So that should do you pretty well when you look at your package from left to right, what a company may offer. And then obviously research what they're offering. How can I increase my value as a foreman? This is great. 100 million, 1,000 billion % do the exact same thing as the project delivery team is doing. Start reading books, start going to training, start learning how to deal with people, read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and really get as much information, even touring other projects and having a mentor, as you possibly can. The foremen that don't do well are the prima donnas that we just have to deal with, that are stubborn, doing stupid things on social media, not really good with people, pissing off the workers, really hard to deal with, not quite a diva, they're more of a prima donna, really difficult to deal with, rough around the edges, nasty truck, holes in their pants, but they do such a good job in some cases that we have to keep them. That foreman's gonna stagnate. Now let's look at this other foreman. Comes to work looking sharp, clean, likes to talk to people, goes to trainings, is always advancing, always learning, is professional, is not on social media doing a bunch of stupid political posts, like is a good face for the company. That is the right way to get promoted in a company. And let me give you an example. There's one foreman that I worked with at Petticoat Schmidt who learned all the systems, learned the scheduling systems, asked to go to trainings like Jocko Willink's Muster, Echelon Front, they're like a 2-day training that's fantastic, is constantly doing certifications, constantly organizing, constantly talking to the company, constantly leading up and down, looking sharp, truck is clean, people love him. That is how you add value. That is how you get promoted, right? If you're like, well, that foreman over there is being nasty and doing really racist like tweets and stuff, but he's still at the company. No, the company's tolerating him because they can't afford to lose him, but they don't like him and they have no intention to promote him. You have got to make sure that you're connected to your crew, your client, and the company in a professional manner. So don't look at the project delivery team, PMs and supers, and be like, oh, I hate those guys. I'm not gonna do anything like they do. Like, go do what they're doing. Learn, progress, improve. Just one real quick rant. I'm not trying to be like too negative about it, but the persona in the industry is I'm a foreman or I'm a superintendent. I've got old boots. I don't believe I'm doing a good day's job until my knuckles bleed. I'm gonna work harder, not smarter. My truck is nasty. I don't use computers. Leave that to the office. I'm gonna have really stubborn beliefs. I'm gonna yell at people. I don't need all that fluffy stuff. I don't tolerate this class of people. Oh, I haven't read a book in 30 years. I've done this for the last 40 years the same way. Oh my gosh. Like, this has almost gotten to the point where we're proud to be ignorant. We have got to change that persona to, I am a foreman, I am a superintendent, I build things that others can't. I build the world. I have a legacy. I am professional. I know how to deal with people. I love technology. I use computers. I actually adopt systems. I'm always sharpening the saw. I read books. I listen to podcasts. I can keep up with any project manager. I can run circles around them. I know my job. I have a base education. I'm always learning. That is the persona. That's how you add value. Do you have to leave the field to make more money? In the current circumstances, most of the time you do. If you want to get up to PM superintendent and make 260, 300, 350 total package with a massive general contractor, typically you need to leave the field. Unless you want to go into high risk or you start adding so much value that you can ask for whatever you want and make your own deal. And what separates the $70,000 foreman from the $120,000 a year foreman? I'll tell you, processes and systems and organization. Is that foreman learning? Do they have standard structured systems? Are they lining out the crew to where everybody knows exactly what to do? And do they have a pattern for repeatable success? The haphazard, I'll figure it out as we go, fight fires, firefighter, cowboy, wild, wild west is the 70,000. The plan, prepare, prevent is the 120,000. I love these questions. I would keep going. I'd go on for hours if I could, but I have to keep this to 10 minutes. But the bottom line is, I'm gonna link you in the description below to the books, to a Foreman mural board with lots of resources on it, and some really cool lists that are in poster form that you can print out and use at your home. All you can be as a foreman and like really go have a great career. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.